are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So, Eliza, I want to just jump in because I've already asked Caitlin about this, but what was it like filming in Cairo?
Oh my goodness. Filming in Cairo was insane. Like it's just you could convince me it was a dream. You really could. It was so fast. It was so intense. But it was amazing. I just can't believe that this is my life, that I get to do this sort of thing for a living. It was amazing, really cool.
I also thought that was like the first time you and I really got to hang. Because
Yeah.
it was like we had a little bit in LA, but that was like we were like doing face masks and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like just
Yeah, yeah,
girl
yeah.
stuff. And it was really fun. And we kind of and that transferred over to screen. It was very cool.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
the Hannah
It's part
Addison.
of a lifelong romance between Caitlin and I.
That's right. Yes. It's where we started.
Yeah.
What was it like for the two of you, though, finally getting time to sort of interact? But of course, Hannah can't see Addison there, but she knows she's there. So, what was that like for both of you?
It was really fun. I mean, what an interesting dynamic that they have. I love it. The only issue for me is that I struggle not to look at Caitlin when we're filming it because she's right there, but
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to see her. So that causes some
Yeah.
challenges. But.
It's been the whole show. It's not, you're not alone.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's doing lasting psychological damage where like everybody's demand, nobody look at Caitlin. Don't look at her. But it was really fun because also, the part of the hologram, especially how it's played here, where the hologram's almost constantly in the action, right? In the stuff, but they're not actually there, is can sometimes be a challenge because you're connecting with what's happening in front of you without actually being ever acknowledged in it. I think there was even a joke in season 1 about it, like it's nice to be acknowledged, because I was like an invisible friend. So it was actually really nice. It felt really grounding and like and it always has since. Like whenever Hannah and Eliza are on screen, Addison is invited into the dynamic in a way that has never existed in the show before. And it's like in a weird way, like even though I'm still invisible, I'm more seen. And it's just made, I think that's part of what Addison has been drawn to Hannah about, that like this woman cares to know who this other woman is, where it could have been a weird love triangle or a weird yucky thing. It's not. It's just like, oh, who is this interesting woman? And it really set the stage for like a cool dynamic.
You both also play these very strong women, not always physically, but mentally, emotionally. And it's such a brilliant thing for TV for young girls now to be growing up with you both on the screen. Do you feel that at all as you're playing these characters, or what do you feel now that young women are looking up to you?
I
Oh,
think
wow.
young women have looked up to Eliza for a long time because she's been a badass for a very long time, which is so cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's so cool to have somebody who has already cemented herself as this role model for women and young women to be on our show. It's just such an honor. So I'll say that about that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's really cool. I mean, I love that Quantum Leap really allows for women to shine, and it's I was saying before that it's not just on screen, it's off screen as well. That like behind the scenes, there are so many female department heads who are just kicking ass every day. And I started in the industry at a time when that wasn't a thing. Like I started in 2001 and every single department head was male. So it's like it's just awesome. And I think it bleeds through, like, from off screen to on screen. There's just, as soon as you step on set, there is this, like, there's woman power everywhere. But in terms of getting to play, such a cool character, I think it really hits home when you meet fans of the show who are just like, thank you for playing a kick-ass woman. And there's a lot of women out there who go, oh, you helped me through a really hard time. You made me feel like I could keep going. And that's a gift. That's really cool.
And it's very rare we get someone from the past coming up again and again. Ben gets to see Hannah at these different stages. What's that been like for you, Eliza, as you've been able to have Hannah in different time periods and go back and forwards as well?
It's so fun. It's a real dream. Like, as a young actor, I always wanted, like, I loved the movie Almost Famous. I wanted to do something like in the 60s, 70s. And now, like, I'm getting to do multiple time periods, and also develop a character over the course of her life. Like, that is so fun as an actor. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. Like, just trying to fill in the blanks, like what's happened over the last 10 years that we haven't seen her. How has she grown? How has she changed? All of that stuff is really, it's fun to sink my teeth into.
And Caitlin, the last time we spoke, you said that Addison was going to, stop reacting and finally take some control. And we have just seen that. What was it about Ben's speech that really hit home to her to realize she wasn't ready to just jump straight into marriage?
I think on episode, like throughout episode 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't even just Ben's. It was the whole thing, right? It was just the whole dynamic that was unfolding in front of her. And I think you watch these little moments happen, and eventually something clicks that you're making a decision just to make a decision. And sometimes you have to say yes to something to realize you might not want it. Just like sometimes you have to say no to something to realize you do, because limbo is the worst possible place to be. And so I think it was really cool to kind of watch a decision get made, a realization to be had, another decision to be made, and you just hang on to your hat for the next few episodes.
I get the sense that she doesn't want to break up. It's just more of the not right now, not the marriage right now. Let's not rush into this. So what do you imagine was going through her head as she was saying that speech to Tom?
I think she said what she meant, and she'll expand on it in the next episode. She's been living one way for a very long time. And she has to figure out how she wants to move forward, and she needs to do that with a little bit of space. And I get that. But there's not a lot of space on this show, so she's gonna have to figure it out.
Hannah gets the most space from everyone.
That's true.
Yeah. She's got 10 years to reset in between.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. That is all the questions that I have, because I'm not allowed to go into the spoilers that I know.
Oh no! We'll try and talk to you after.
Thank you, Alexandria.
Thanks.